I get asked all the time, Sam, where are the best beaches and where can I live near the beach in Virginia Beach? Well, there's so many options. I'm gonna tell you all the best places to live near the Virginia Beach beaches, and I'm telling you right now. Hey, my name is Sam Sansalone and I'm a real estate agent in the Virginia Beach area, all around Virginia Beach. And I do videos every week about living in Virginia Beach or the cities around Virginia Beach. We're gonna talk all about where to live around the Virginia Beach area that are on beaches, because there are a lot of beaches in Virginia Beach. It's not just one stretch of beach. Come on now. And a lot of different lifestyles of areas near the beaches. So we're gonna talk about the different neighborhoods on the beach and some spots right off the beach that you can walk to the beach from or bike, and some that you have to drive from but are only a few minutes away too. So you can get a real good idea of what's available, what types of houses there are, what types of options you have, and all the different price ranges too. And I'll also talk about the cons to living in these places too, because there are some in very specific locations, so you wanna make sure you're aware of them. Now, if you love my videos, I would really appreciate it if you could just lightly tap, or smash real hard the like button for the YouTube algorithms. It really helps my channel out a lot and spreads the word to other people like you who love my videos. I would greatly appreciate that. So we're gonna start in the northwestern corner of Virginia Beach and work ourselves around, going east all the way down to the south and southeastern sides of Virginia Beach, and go through each beach incrementally. So first we'll talk about Chicks Beach. So I've done a video about Chicks Beach specifically. This area is very closely knit. It's a small area. If you look on the map, you'll see that Route 13 that goes up towards the eastern shore? Well, on the eastern and the western sides of Route 13, you'll see small little neighborhoods, little streets that come off into little cul-de-sacs near some lakes. In this area, and going up to the beach itself, is Chicks Beach. There's a small little section there. On the beach, you get some real nice oceanfront and waterfront property, like those nice big oceanfront properties close to like $1 million in that range. But if you go just off the beach, you'll see some real narrow streets and some real like small bungalows as low as like 1,000, 1,500 square feet, going up to 2,000, 3,000 square feet. And it has attached and detached houses. First of all, the attached. There are houses in here as low as $300,000, and it's nice for the price and access to the beach. You can see them on the ocean as high as $1 million, and the same goes with the detached houses too. You can find something smaller in the $400,000 to $500,000 price range if you're lucky. Otherwise, it's upwards of $600,000 and $700,000 up to $1 million in that range, especially on the water. Some nice restaurants in here too, especially Buoy 58, and you're surrounded by a couple of nice quiet lakes too. And if you go further off the shore, you'll see some more single-family houses and condos that from there are a little bit harder to get to the beach from, and also has easy access to multiple cities, Virginia Beach of course, and you're also right down the street from Norfolk. So NOB and Little Creek Amphibious Base are not too far away to the west of Chicks Beach too. The drawback to this area is the parking. A, because these streets are really narrow, and B, because they really are very careful about allowing people to park along the sides of the roads. Now, moving further just south of here, crossing that road called Shore Drive, are a couple neighborhoods I want to mention. Number one is Church Point. Church Point is almost like the opposite of Chicks Beach. It's a lot of brick, two-story, kind of like the McMansion-y style houses, 3,000, 4,000 square feet. It's not a big neighborhood, but it's very close to a couple main roads that make it easy to get to the beach. It also has easy access to a park right above that called Bayville Farms Park, with a full disc golf course too. So these are great if you want lots of space. You want like that big brick kind of stately looking house. Now the drawbacks here is, one, the lot sizes are very small. So most of these are kind of weird shaped or really small backyards, and so you're gonna get a big house but not a big yard. Number two is you can't walk easily to the beach. Now going just further north of that, it's a little small cranny there next to the park called Bayville Park. This is one that is a total flip as far as price range goes. This is way more affordable comparatively speaking to Church Point. You can get a house in here anywhere from $275 to like $350. Really affordable, but they're also smaller houses. 3 or 4 bedrooms, but they're like 1,200 square feet to like 2,000, 2,200 square feet or so, and older, like 1950s. But it's an easy walk to Bayville Park, right down the street. And you're close to Shore Drive, close to a street called Pleasure House Road, which you can take up towards Chicks Beach. It's a nice brewery on Pleasure House Road, and so you're within a few minutes drive to the beach, and you're not paying a whole lot for your house. Now moving just further south of both of those is a neighborhood called Thorogood. Thorogood is one of my favorites in this whole section section because it has like the brick ranch style, two-story houses, large trees, well-established neighborhood. It's a little bit higher in price. You're talking closer to 500 plus, and especially on the water, some great waterfront properties. You're talking over $1 million at that point, but you got nice lot sizes, great houses, that 60s style house, and you're only a few minutes drive up to Chicks Beach too. Now if you can shift your attention just east of Chicks Beach, there's another area called Bay Lake Pines. This area has its own little private beach too that is private to the neighborhood. It's an awesome neighborhood for the price. Because it's got its private access points, it's very in demand. These houses do not last long on the market. Brick ranch style, some two-story, $500,000 to $800,000, but it's just to the east of Chicks Beach. So you get the seclusion, you get the private access points. It's very hard to park in this area if you're coming from out of the area. So locals in the neighborhood have prime access, and you can just literally walk to the beach, and you're not going to cross any major streets. You can also walk across the street, across Shore Drive, and get to Pleasure House Point, which is a natural area like a park, and also like a small little beach, like a waterfront spot you can walk around also, along with some woods. Really quiet access. Now going just further east of that, a couple little neighborhoods. One section is called Ocean Park and also Pelican Dunes. This is also walking distance to the beach. A lot of these are condos, and they're $450,000 to $550,000 or so. So you're going to pay anywhere from $500,000 upwards of $2 million if you're talking on the ocean. And now shifting over, you see where that bridge is. That's the Lesnar Bridge. This is a really cool bridge that just got rebuilt recently. But there are some condos right along this bridge, right near the shoreline here, that are some of them are very expensive. Some of them are even more affordable, like the $400,000 price range. Cape Henry Towers, Lynn Haven Shores, Ocean Shore, Harbor Gate, and also condos like the Chesapeake House as well that are right to the west of the Lesnar Bridge. So for condo lifestyle on this north side, this is pretty much the spot to focus on, as well as just further west, there are some small developments. There's a really easy access point right near the Lesnar Bridge to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithms. But now let's shift over just a little bit more, just to the east. This is one that no one really talks about that much. It's Cape Story by the Sea. I love this because no one really talks about it. A little small neighborhood to the north and the south of Shore Drive. So to the north, you'll see some neighborhoods, some streets that go straight directly into the ocean. Not into the ocean, you know what I'm talking about. There's a small little residential streets that have little bungalows, small one-story, some two-story. They can be as low as 1,200, 1,500 square feet. 3 to 5 bedrooms, like 70s, 80s style houses. But if you're on the ocean, you're gonna still be talking $2, $3 million for these detached houses. But coming off the shore, this is where you get some good value. $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 if you get those smaller bungalows. Again, you're gonna literally walk to the beach. Come on now, like maybe a couple hundred yards, you're right there. There's access points up and down this little Cape Story by the Sea section. And just to the east, you can go to First Landing State Park, where there's also beach access too, which is also you can pay to get in there. There's parking, so there's also a separate beach there also. Then you come down, just crossing over Shore Drive. You'll see some more roads that connect all the way down south into where there is a bike path that goes all the way west, closer to just south of Chicks Beach, hit it all the way over to First Landing State Park. Going just south on this T here, going down south there, I'm going to talk about some neighborhoods that I love, totally different than these beach bungalows. Some of my favorite properties are in these neighborhoods. First of all, you've got Bay Island, which is a really unique little island, literally. It's right just south and southeast of the Lesnar Bridge. Waterfront property. They start in like the $700,000 price range, but they go up, again, waterfront property in this section to $1.5, $2 million. Most of them are a little bit smaller, like 2,000, 3,000 square feet, 3 to 5 bedrooms, but they can go up to 4,000 plus square footage. Now, there's a cluster just south of here on Great Neck Road, I want to mention. So first of all is Great Neck Point. Looking on the map, this is some historic property. So if you drive right off Great Neck Road, kind of curving around, tucked into the corner there. Some of the lots in here are 0.75 up to an acre or larger in this section. But even though you're right down the street from lots of action, 4 to 6 bedrooms, 3,000 to 6,000 square foot. Some of these are really big properties, but they're on real nice pieces of property. Then just going further south of there, I love this neighborhood, Wimbledon. Another small neighborhood, but packs a great punch. Talking $700,000 to $900,000 or so. Getting closer to the water, you're getting $1 million, $1.5 million, $3,000 3,000, 3,500 square feet, 4,500 square feet. Real nice properties, but the difference between this and Great Neck Point is often the lot sizes. These are smaller lot sizes, like maybe a third of an acre, closer to city style lot size. But this one is well known too for its awesome Christmas lights. It's a real nice destination to go to if you do like Christmas lights. Across the street, Green Hill Farms, one of my most underrated neighborhoods in the area. I love this area because first of all, the access, the road that drives into Green Hill Farms is real secluded, real well treed, like it's like a perfect street. But then if you go into it, like there's just very unique little nooks and crannies in this neighborhood. 3,000 to 8,000 square feet, some big houses, like again 700,000 to 2 million is still that range for here. Then going just further south is Broad Bay Point Greens. Similar thing here, 3,000 to 5,000 square feet. You can get some a little bit cheaper, like 600 sometimes. Now we're gonna skip past where you see that First Landing State Park and go all the way around to the northeastern corner. That is called the North End. I love the North End because of various things. One is the seclusion. It's real secluded. You don't really go up here unless you know it's here or you have a reason to go here. And it's a neighborhood. It's like, so if you look on the street there, Atlantic Avenue, to the west is neighborhoods and streets that go east and west across from like 89th Street all the way down to like low 40s. And then if you go to the Atlantic Ocean side, there are roads that cut across into the ocean that have access points to the beach from each street. It's so cool. These are some of the older houses though, so you can see some in the 40s and 50s, some older style houses. You'll see some new construction too. You can either walk from the beach, literally like several steps, you're on the beach on the Atlantic side, or you can even walk or bike from the other side of the North End across to the beach too, and with dozens of beach access points. But the prices in here go all across the board. You can get some for $600,000 detached houses, upwards of on the ocean like $3-4 million too, some of the big ones. But then you've got some attached houses too. You can get some for under 400 in some real specific cases. Usually 4 to 5 is where it starts, but again, attached houses in this area close to the beach, not a bad idea. You got some condos too along the shoreline. Now going just south and just west, just a little bit, a couple neighborhoods I want to talk about. Number one is Princess Anne Hills. This is great because you can still walk across the street from here over to the beach across the street, across Atlantic Avenue. $800,000 up to $2 million or so. Then if you go just further south and west, that big little bulb there, that's called Bay Colony. This one is pristine, mucho great. So if you go just off of Atlantic Avenue, turning into this little like it's a cul-de-sac of land, you'll wind around. This is a real windy area. It is one of the most established and most premier neighborhoods in the entire Virginia Beach area. The waterfront here is so awesome. It's right on the Broad Bay, takes you up towards the Chesapeake Bay and back around towards the ocean. This is secluded. Big houses, unique houses, each house is different. It's like there's no cookie cutterness in this whole area. You've got small ranch style, you can get big two-story. The waterfront property is so great, but it's expensive, so you can start at like $700,000, $650 if you're lucky, really $750, but then if you go up on the water, $1.5, $2.5, $3.5, $4 million. You can also bike to the Cavalier Hotel, a real historic hotel just in front of Bay Colony, which has some real nice restaurants in there. And you can go across the beach too, so plenty of options in Bay Colony. I love this neighborhood. Now let's keep going further south. So you've got the oceanfront itself. That's the main beach that the tourists love to go to. A lot of people, you'll see it's the reason why the beach is busy. And one big reason is because of the boardwalk that goes from 40th Street all the way down to 1st Street. It's over 3 miles long. It's a nice, real comfortable boardwalk that, you know, you can rollerblade, you can walk, you can bike, and you got this massive beachfront right next to you, as well as all the hotels, all the good restaurants up and down the Atlantic Avenue, Pacific Avenue. But just coming off the shore just a little bit is an area called Beach Borough. There's another part called Old Beach. This is kind of like a unique little neighborhood just right next to all the touristy stuff. So people love this area because it does feel like a neighborhood and it's near all the school districts. Also, it's just several blocks away from the beach, the oceanfront. So you can go see all the concerts down there, all the great restaurants, all the nightlife. Everything is real close to Beach Borough in Old Beach. Parking in this area, like in most areas with residential areas, is difficult if you don't live here, which is part of the reason why it's great to live here. You've got bungalows, really unique lot sizes, some small lots. Again, a lot of the houses are close together, but you're so close to the ocean, it's not a big deal. That's what you're paying for. But the prices in here can be as low as like $400,000 or so in some places like the bungalow style, and less for some of these condos, but you can go up from there, 500, 600, and they can be like the bigger style too, so you can get upwards of $800,000, $900,000 and up. Just depends on the type of house you're looking for. But I want to mention one thing street-wise is that when you're coming in and out of the oceanfront, the primary access and exit points are 21st Street and 22nd Street. So the closer you are to those streets, the busier you will be, and the busier your area, your house will be, and there's more noise, more action close to your house. This area also drifts into a section called the Vibe District, which is a kind of an arts community. Some nice restaurants called like Commune is one of my favorites in here too. Just further south in this section. Now going further, just over a little bit, I'm gonna talk about 3 different neighborhoods. Sansalone. This is one of the most value-packed neighborhoods close to the beach. You can walk to the south side of the oceanfront, several blocks away, just inland, but you can get some real nice bungalows, small houses. You can have some big ones too, but you can even get townhouses in here for like $150 in some cases, upwards of $300,000, $500,000, but it's real affordable for what you're getting for beach access, guys. But you got some restaurants near here in Sansalone. Rockefeller's is right around the corner. I love Rockefeller's. Rudy's as well. Then you're also close to Waterman's, which is one of my favorites, known for its orange crushes. All you locals probably know what I'm talking about. And you're near Grommet Island Park, which is great for kids. In the very bottom section of the oceanfront, that popular section. Now going across the bridge, there's a road called General Booth Boulevard. You're gonna cross over a bridge there. Just to the west is a little neighborhood called Rudy Heights. This one's cool too. You can walk across the bridge back over to the oceanfront, but you're also tucked away in a little neighborhood. But then you cross over General Booth to a beach that's real great. One of the most popular beaches for locals is Croatan, in this neighborhood called Croatan. This neighborhood of Croatan is fabulous. So you've got bigger houses on the oceanfront property, $2 million to $4 million price tags on the ocean. Then if you go off the ocean just a street or 2 or 3 streets, you'll get some in the $1.5 million, but then some under $1 million, $800,000. You've got 2-story houses, some ranch style, just really nice houses, but it feels like a neighborhood, and you're just right off of General Booth Boulevard, and you're just 3 or 4 minutes away from the oceanfront, but you're also close to your own beach, Croatan Beach. It also has a public parking lot, also like Croatan Beach does. So a lot of people that want to go to the ocean on the beach but don't want to go to the oceanfront itself will go to Croatan. So there is more public access here. So it's a little bit busier than, like, for instance, the north part of the North End or other parts of the beaches. One more quick neighborhood I want to mention that's easy to get to off of General Booth, just south of here, is Park Place, which is a neighborhood that's very traditional, like this kind of $400,000 to $500,000 houses, like 2,500 to 3,200 square foot or so, like a real small neighborhood, but it's close to all these beaches, about 7-8 minutes or so away from the oceanfront. I mention this because it's one of the nicer, like, just traditional neighborhoods that's close to the beach, that's not super expensive either. Easy access to the beach and a nice big park next to it too. Now, one overarching thing I want to talk about several neighborhoods on the north and northeastern sides of the beaches and the central sections of the beaches is the jet noise. I've talked about jet noise in a lot of different videos. It's a real thing. The Oceana Naval Air Station is in the southeastern section of Virginia Beach, and the runway of this base goes from the northeast to the southwest. And so where the runway is in the direction of where the planes land and fly, and the flight patterns influences how much noise or no noise there might be in the areas that you might be living in or looking at. So I'm going to attach below the ACU's noise zone map that shows you, generally speaking, where the biggest noise issue sections are. But I will say that a lot of the places near the beach on the eastern side, you can deal with a lot of jet noise, especially right in the center, like near the ocean front, just north of there and south of there. It gets pretty loud in some spots, so if you do plan to go to the ocean front or buy a house near the beach with the idea of also being secluded, keep this in mind. It might factor into your decisions. Now, the last section, beach and section of houses near the beach, is an area called Sandbridge. I've done a video about Sandbridge. This is the destination spot. So if you've heard of the Outer Banks, this is like the Outer Banks of Virginia. It is a place where people come from other states and countries often to vacation. If you look, there's one way in and one way out of this section. It's a long little branch of the beach, secluded away from the rest of Virginia Beach. It's separated by lots of undeveloped land, several streets all up and down, but it's several miles. It's a lot of beachfront and lots of houses up and down that shoreline. But the ones on the ocean front are talking over $1 million, up to 2.5. But off the ocean, like a street or two, you're talking closer to 800,000, sometimes less than that. So you do have some options here. And so if you want to be secluded, super secluded, but be on one of the nicer and also quiet beaches, in the entire city, this is a great place to go to. It's also connected on the south side by False Cape State Park and Back Bay Wildlife Refuge. So it's got a lot of nature access points too. There are some condos in here too, some big developments, a couple of them that give you some cheaper condos, like $300,000 to $600,000, but there's some higher condo fees. So don't be tricked just by this lower price. You are paying some higher condo fees as well. The benefit to this area is it's super secluded. Like you've got to drive several minutes to get to this beach from the rest of Virginia Beach. That's the good news. The bad news is you gotta drive a long way to get here. So I wanna mention some neighborhoods near Sandbridge that are just off of the shore, a few minutes, that are some of the best in the area, but also close to Sandbridge. Number one is Lagomar. I love Lagomar, and if it wasn't for the fact that it's so far into the corner of Virginia Beach, I think my wife and I would probably wanna move here. It's great. Starting at $550 or so, you can get houses in here, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000. Real established neighborhood. You've got the older side, which has like unique trees, unique lot sizes, and unique houses, and then also the newer side that's a little bit more traditional, like more McMansion-y to me. I like the older style better, but you're about 8 minutes or so away from Sandbridge Beach. Then two more right next to each other, Heritage Park and Asheville Park. These are some larger houses, like 3,000 to 4,000 square feet, but the price ranges start from like $600,000 to $800,000 in Heritage, but up to 1.2 in some places in Asheville. The differences here, one is has a lower HOA, Heritage Park does. These are great because they're still close to Sandbridge, but they have that a lot of the neighborhood style feels that a lot of people want. It's more designed towards families, and this area is close to an area called Red Mill, which has all the shopping you're looking for, like near grocery stores, big box stores. Everything you need is right in here, as well as lots of restaurants too. Now the drawback to this section is partly in closer to Sandbridge, there are some flooding issues on the road going to Sandbridge. So if you do consider a house on or near Sandbridge, just keep that in mind. It's not widespread, but especially if you get towards Pungo, like the country section of Virginia Beach, this area can flood in some cases. So I would definitely recommend talking to neighbors about this to find out if the spot you're looking at has these issues and how bad they are. Now that's a lot of beaches, but we have a lot of beaches. We're known for our beaches. It's Virginia Beach. So if you want to know more about living in Virginia Beach or different parts of Virginia Beach, please click these videos here, or you can subscribe to my channel. And if I can help you relocate into this area, I would love to. Contact me here. I got my contact information here, and I have it dropped in the description, so you can reach out to me anytime you'd like, and I'll do whatever I can to help you. And I will see you on the next video.